My name is Paul Lucchese. I was president in 1987, 1988, 37 years ago. I was a St. X student, loved math, numbers, arithmetic, and one of my older sisters was dating a Bellarmine student. He was a sophomore and he was majoring in accounting, and he was going to be a CPA. So from the CPA aspect, doing a little research, talking to him, I said, that's exactly what I want to do. So I ended up going to Bellarmine, majored in accounting, and became a CPA. Ben Gratzer asked me in mid-70s, late 70s, to chair the Insurance Programs Committee. I had never been active in the Kentucky Society. I was a member for 2 or 3 years at that time, and really enjoyed it, loved being involved. And in 1980, Al Carpenter, the incoming president of the Kentucky Society of CPAs and my former associate at Ernst & Ernst back in 1970, called me and asked me to be on the board that year, 1980, go for the board, and be on the executive committee and be his treasurer. So this is like 3-4 years into the CPA career, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So in 1987, when I became president of the Kentucky Society of CPAs, the AICPA was celebrating, kind of unique, celebrating their 100th anniversary in New York. And I think just like the Kentucky Society of CPAs celebrating the 100th thing, we focused, the AICPA was focusing after a 2-3 year study on trying to pass 6 major changes into the rules and regulations. The 3 significant ones were mandatory CPE for the first time nationally, 120 credit hours for those in public practice. Number 2 was the peer review between CPA firms. And number 3, the third big thing was the 150 credit hours for colleges, minimum requirements for the CPA certificate. So we spent a lot of the year explaining, communicating with the Kentucky Society's membership, 3,000 members throughout the state, with regard to the AICPA thing. And by the way, all 6 components passed and became a base for a lot of things going on even today. Organizations, of course, are only as good as the people in it and being involved in it, but the people, the leaders, the members, traveling the state of Kentucky for a couple of years as president-elect and the president, going to the chapter meetings, visit from one border to the other border, meeting people, standing in front of 800 to 1,000 people, giving welcoming speeches and comments, and television interviews. So it was one of the highlights of my life for me. Yeah, I just like to take a moment at the end just to say happy birthday to the Kentucky Society of CPAs. 100 years goes back a long way, and I hope we have a great 100 years to go.